That younger person who simply won't leave your mind has broken the silence with an act of courage that will leave you breathless. This person wrote a secret letter, a confession of the soul that will make you cry when you discover the immense truth they have kept for so long. Do not ignore this sign. Stay until the end, because the message the angels bring today will reveal what they really feel for you and could change your story forever. Dear soul, the angels draw near to you today with a message that overflows with the essence of the purest and bravest love, bringing a revelation that will touch your heart in a way you perhaps did not expect. Have you noticed that certain coincidences in your life are not simple accidents? The angels say that the universe conspired for this message to reach you, or for you to feel its energy floating in the air. There is something very important you need to know about this younger person who has occupied your thoughts, or who, in some way, touched your life in a deep way. The angels show me that this person, driven by a force they barely understand, performed an act of profound surrender. This person wrote a letter for you. It is not an ordinary letter, dear soul. It is a record of kept feelings, of truths they were afraid to express, and of a connection that challenged everything they knew about love. This letter, whether delivered or still waiting to be revealed, carries within it the very soul of the one who wrote it. And the angels say that its content has the power to move you deeply, perhaps even to the point of making you shed tears of understanding and recognition. You might ask yourself, why now? Why this traditional form of communication in such a digital world? The angels explain that the intention behind the letter is not just to communicate, but to make a feeling eternal, to give it weight, to make it real in a way that no quick mobile phone message ever could. This younger person fought against many prejudices, against the voices of society, and even against their own doubts about what it means to love and be loved in a connection that goes beyond common expectations. What I am about to reveal to you could change everything you think about how they see you and about the depth of the feelings they nurture in secret. They see you not only as someone attractive, but as an inspiration, a source of wisdom, and of a beauty that goes far beyond what the eyes can see. For this person, you represent a safe haven, a comfort they have rarely found in life, and this intrigued and frightened them at the same time. The idea of expressing all this seemed huge, almost impossible, but the energy of the angels pushed them to take this step. The angels show that, for a long time, they tried to explain what they feel with logic, trying to fit this connection into molds that already existed. But true love does not obey rules, and their soul realized this undeniably. The distance, perhaps imposed by circumstances or by doubts on both sides, only served to intensify what they felt. Every day away, every moment of silence, only made your image clearer in their thoughts, your voice more present in their memory, and the sensation of your presence, even when distant, stronger in their heart. They missed an understanding that only you offered, a gaze that saw them in their essence, a calm they found only by your side. These feelings, my dears, are not fleeting or superficial. They were creating roots, creating deep ties in their soul, until the need to express themselves became greater than any fear. They found themselves at a point where silence was torture, and the truth, a liberation. The angels guided their hand while they wrote, filling every word with the purity and intensity of the heart. Every phrase of the letter is a piece of their being, an honest confession of everything that lived inside them. They did not know if you would receive it, if you would read it, or how you would react, but the need to let these feelings out was stronger than any result. What this person desires most is for you to understand the sincerity of their heart. They do not seek a specific result, but the release of a truth that consumed them from the inside. The letter is a silent request for understanding, a gesture of love that crosses time and circumstances. They recognize that life may have followed different paths for each of you, but they could no longer live with the weight of not having expressed how important you are. They reveal in the letter that age, which once seemed like an abyss, has become irrelevant in the face of the size of their feelings. There is something even deeper the angels want you to know. This person had to overcome their own insecurities, their doubts about being enough for you, They questioned if the age difference, the life experiences, or social expectations would be impossible barriers to cross. But, in the process of writing this letter, they realized that genuine love overcomes all these things. What matters is the soul connection, the harmony they feel with you, and the peace your presence brings them. This letter is, therefore, a milestone, a turning point not only for this person, but also for you. It symbolizes the courage of a heart that refuses to be silenced, the audacity of a soul that chooses to love without reserves, despite all visible or imaginary obstacles. The angels reveal that they knew this letter might not have the ending they hoped for, but they needed to release the truth of their heart. They had to express the admiration, the respect, and the deep affection they feel for you. They needed you to know that, regardless of what the future brings, your presence marked their life in a way that cannot be erased, leaving a trail of light and a love they will never forget. This is the essence of what the angels are revealing, and this revelation, dear soul, is just the beginning. There is something even deeper happening. Write this mantra in the comments. My heart is open to give and receive genuine love. The angels show me that this letter is not just a manifestation of feelings, but a mirror of their soul, revealing an emotional maturity that perhaps you did not expect from someone younger. The content goes far beyond simple declarations of affection. They see you in a way that goes beyond the physical, recognizing your wisdom, your strength, and the light you radiate. For this person, you represent a lighthouse, a silent guide that illuminated aspects of their own life they did not understand before. The angels say the letter details specific moments where your presence made the difference, when your words or your understanding silence were a relief for their worries. It describes the way you listened to them, not just with your ears, but with your soul, understanding their ambitions, their fears, and their dreams in a way few have done. This deep perception made them understand that the connection between you is something rare and precious, something they could not cast aside. They question in the letter the barriers society imposes, the shallowness of current relationships, and how, by your side, they found an authenticity and depth that transformed them. The angels revealed to me that one of the most emotional points of the letter is regret. They express genuine sorrow for any moment where the distance was greater than the closeness, for any word not said or gesture not made. They confess that many times they felt paralyzed by fear of not being worthy, fear of not meeting your expectations, fear of challenging the norms. They tell of the nights when insomnia visited, and their mind traveled to you, imagining what could have been, what still could be. This anguish became so strong that the only way to relieve it was by putting everything on paper, emptying the storm of emotions that flooded them. The letter became their confidant, the storehouse of all their unrevealed truths. It speaks about how your absence made them reevaluate their own priorities, their own values, and made them understand that time is a treasure, and love, a force that cannot be left for later or underestimated. If this message is resonating with you, the angels make a subtle and loving request. Support us by clicking the subscribe button. This gesture helps us continue bringing inspiring messages of light to everyone. The angels show you that this letter reveals the deepest vulnerability of this person, exposing fears and hopes they kept only to themselves. It describes in the letter how your presence became a compass in their life, guiding them in moments of uncertainty, and bringing clarity where before there was confusion. They confess that, in several moments, they found themselves questioning the reason for such a strong connection between you two, and the only answer they found was that of the heart. The angels indicate that they speak about the beauty of your soul, about the way you see the world, your capacity to love and forgive, and how all of this captivated them in a way they had never experienced. This letter is not a whim, but a cry from their soul, an urgent need for you to understand the depth of what they feel, without filters, without the barriers that spoken words often impose. For this young soul, your soul has no age, and the connection they feel with you is timeless, eternal. This is a part of the letter that the angels indicate will touch your soul in a very particular way, because they not only admire your essence, but also celebrate it completely. It also speaks about the challenges they faced in their own life and how, by observing you, they found strength and inspiration. You became, without knowing, a model of resilience and self-love. The letter is a testimony of how you helped them grow, to mature, to see the world with different eyes. This gratitude is a strong pillar in their words, and the angels want you to notice the authenticity of this recognition. They are not seeking anything other than for you to know the impact you had on their life. There is something even more moving that the angels want you to know. They feel honored to have had the opportunity to know you and to share moments, even if they were brief, with you. For this person, every instant by your side was a gift, a life lesson, a little piece of heaven. The letter is their way of saying thank you for everything you represented and still represent. Now, write 777 in the comments to acclaim the spiritual clarity the angels are sending into your life. Writing allowed them to be completely true, without interruptions or doubts. It recounts how your absence, even before it was a physical absence, already tormented them. The idea that you could drift away, or that the connection between you could come undone, was a ghost that haunted them, and the letter is their attempt to scare away this ghost, to solidify what they feel, so that this truth can exist, regardless of what the future holds. The angels reveal that they reflect on the question of time, but in a way that challenges the common view. Time by your side was and is eternal. The memories they keep are alive, and the emotion they feel when remembering them is as intense as in the moment they were lived. They do not see age as an obstacle, but as a wealth of experiences that only make you even more fascinating and worthy of their love. They write about the uniqueness of your smile, the intelligence of your gaze, and the peace your voice brought them, as if it were a melody that calmed the soul. This message arrived to you at the right moment, but you need to act fast in your heart to welcome this truth. They mention in the letter the way they learned to value themselves more by your side, to believe in their own potential, and to see life with more optimism. You, dear soul, were a catalyst for their growth, an inspiration for them to become the best version of themselves, and this gratitude is palpable in every line they wrote. The angels say the letter is an act of faith, faith in the strength of love, faith in the truth of feelings, and faith that somehow you would understand the purity of their intentions. They do not seek a fairy tale, but an authentic connection, an opportunity to share their soul with yours. They do not want you to feel under pressure, but to know the truth they carry. They reflect on the moments when they felt small or insecure, and how your presence always made them feel greater, more capable. The letter is a tribute to your power to uplift others, to inspire confidence, and to nourish the soul of those around you. The angels want you to understand the depth of the impact you had on this person's life, for they not only loved you, but also admired and revered you as a figure of light. The letter is, in essence, a silent plea, a request for you to consider the possibility that true love can appear in the most unexpected forms, in moments that challenge logic, and in hearts you perhaps did not expect. They do not ask for an immediate return or a decision, but that you keep their words in your heart and reflect. The angels are sending you a special sign. Your lucky number for today is 2. Write in the comments, I receive the energy of the angels. My lucky number is 2. I send protection to those I love very much. If this message is touching your heart, show your support by clicking the thanks or like heart and help spread this message of light to other souls who need it. The written letter is not just a record of feelings, but a mirror for your own soul, dear friend. The angels show me that, by reading it or sensing it in your intuition, you will be confronted with your own emotions, with the barriers you may have built, and with the deepest desires of your heart. This person, in their vulnerability, opened a door for you to also allow yourself to feel and perhaps release old burdens. The sincerity of their words, the purity of their recognition, and the courage of their confession will have an impact that goes beyond the moment of reading. You will feel a wave of emotions, perhaps surprise, perhaps a twinge of remorse for having underestimated the depth of their affection, or perhaps a silent joy upon noticing that what you felt was also real for the other side. This letter, the angels say, will be a catalyst for your own healing and self-knowledge. It expresses in the letter a deep respect for your autonomy, for your history, and for your choices. It does not try to manipulate you or force you to feel something that is not genuine. On the contrary, it simply puts their truth on the table, offering it with the humility of one who expects nothing in return, but who needed to express themselves to find their own peace. The angels reveal to me that this attitude of detachment from the outcome is what makes the letter even more powerful and moving. They free themselves from the need to be reciprocated to feel complete, and in doing so, they free you too, so that you can react with your heart, without pressure. Have you ever wondered if certain people come into your life to teach you something about yourself? The angels say that the arrival of this person in your life, and now the revelation of their feelings through this letter, is a lesson on the capacity to love without frontiers, to see beauty and depth beyond the superficial. This letter will make you see the strength you possess, the beauty of your mature soul, and the capacity to inspire love in other hearts, regardless of age or any other convention. The angels show that they detail how you made them question the expectations imposed by society about what an ideal relationship is, and how they realize that true connection resides in the soul, in mutual respect, and in genuine admiration. It recounts how they felt complete and at peace by your side, a sensation they had never experienced before with such intensity. The letter is not a request, but a declaration, a testimony of a connection they cannot and do not want to deny anymore. They do not want life to pass without you knowing how much they value you, how much your presence meant and still means. The angels ask you to prepare yourself for the emotion the letter will bring. It will not be sadness, but a liberation, a validation of feelings that perhaps you also kept deep in your heart. It will bring clarity about the purity of a love that manifested in an unexpected way. It speaks about your capacity to see life with optimism, your resilience in the face of challenges, and the way you inspired them to be a better person, more authentic and braver. This message arrived to you at the right moment so that you can reflect on the nature of love in your life, on the importance of following your heart, and on the beauty of a bond that surpasses all expectations. The angels guided their hand, and now they guide yours, so that you receive this truth with an open heart. The angels want you to know that this experience is a gift, an opportunity to recognize the beauty and depth of a true feeling. They mention in the letter the way your presence calmed them, how your voice was a melody to their ears, and how your embrace was a safe haven. It describes the longing they felt for details so simple, yet so significant, which now seem to have a huge weight on their soul. This letter is, ultimately, an invitation for you to allow yourself to feel, to recognize the beauty of a love that, despite all conventions, found a way to express itself and touch your soul. Before continuing, the angels ask you to do an exercise of liberation. Write in the comments a list of people, including yourself, whom you would like to forgive. Visualize each of them, send love, and say, "I forgive you, and I set you free. May peace be with you." Feel the lightness and freedom that forgiveness brings. Repeat this practice every day to strengthen your inner peace and release anxiety. Now, continuing the message, the angels show me that the written letter is not just about love for you, but also about the self-love they learned to cultivate through this connection. It reveals in the letter how your presence helped them to see themselves with more compassion, to accept their own imperfections, and to embrace their true essence. For this person, you were not just someone else, but a mirror that reflected back their own inner light, often dimmed by doubts and insecurities. The angels indicate that they detail how, by your side, they felt complete, valued, and above all, understood. This feeling of belonging is something they had never experienced with such intensity, and the letter is a testimony of this transformation. It speaks about the courage you inspired them to have, the audacity to live and love without masks, and the importance of following the heart, even when the world seems to dictate otherwise. Have you ever felt that the universe sends people to teach you valuable lessons? The angels say that the arrival of this being in your life was a gift, an opportunity for both to grow and evolve. The letter is the confirmation that soul ties cross time and social conventions. It narrates in the letter moments when they felt intimidated by your wisdom and experience. But how? Instead of pulling away, they felt attracted by this depth. For him or her, your age was not an obstacle, but a treasure trove of stories, of lived experiences, and of an inner richness they yearned to know. The angels reveal that they felt privileged to have access to a love so mature and authentic, a love that taught them more about life than any other experience. The letter is a tribute to this unique connection, a recognition that true love has no age, borders, or prejudices. There is something even more emotional that the angels want you to know. They feel grateful for every moment shared, for every smile exchanged, for every look that connected your souls. They realize that you taught them to value depth, authenticity, and the purity of feelings. The letter is their way of saying that they are a transformed person, and this transformation was largely thanks to you. They question in the letter what the future holds, but make it clear that, regardless of the path life takes, your presence was a milestone that does not fade, a light that will never go out. The angels ask you to receive this message with an open heart, allowing yourself to feel the purity and truth of their words. It is not about expectations or pressures, but about recognizing the beauty of a love that manifests in such a sincere and courageous way. It describes the internal struggle they faced to write the letter, overcoming the fear of rejection, the fear of not being understood, and the insecurity about their own capacity to express such deep feelings. But in the end, love won. The angels say the letter is an act of pure courage, proof that they are willing to do anything for you to know the truth of their heart. They do not want life to pass without you knowing the impact you had on their life, the light you brought to their path, and the transformation you achieved in their soul. And this light, say the angels, continues to shine intensely in their heart, guiding them and inspiring them every day. They wish for you to receive this truth with the same purity with which they wrote it, and for it to inspire you to live a love without frontiers, without fears, without regrets. If this message touched you and your soul, write in the comments, "My heart is ready for true and unexpected love." Come back whenever you feel longing. Subscribe to the channel. Every day the angels send messages of light. Remember, you are not alone. Thank you, and until the next video.